Today, me and Dad predict the League One table, and I'm going to have to say, warning before you watch this video, there are some very controversial ones here. Hello guys, and welcome to our League One predictions. Now, I'm going to do my full table. Sneaky Pete. Oh, naughty. Don't have a look first. But Dad's just going to do, just like, not the whole table, but a little one.
That's because I don't know, so I'm not as knowledgeable as Harry about football. And so I'm just going to give a general opinion of what I think the top and the bottom might look like. I'm
going to go from 24th to 1st, where Dad is just going to do, his top 3, top 6.
Stop cheeking on a sneaky look.
No, I'm just saying.
Just saying.
Just, top 3, top 6, so on. So the 24th, I know people are absolutely going to shout at me. But they get a new stand, which is pretty cool. I think you know who it is. It's Bristol Rovers. I just don't see them staying up this season. I just think they're a really bad team. They lost to Bournemouth last year in the FA Cup when we went. That was a good day out, wasn't it?
It was a good day, yeah, very good.
I actually said 1-0 to Bournemouth. Yeah.
Indeed.
I did indeed. In 23rd, you never see them in, news headlines or anything. Lincoln. I just don't see them getting along this season. I know it's a mixed opinion, and people think, oh, they'll probably finish about, 14th. But no, I don't see them staying up. In 22nd, I've gone for Cambridge, because I just don't see them staying up as they've, struggled in the last few seasons, especially last season when they just survived on the last day. And in 21st, I've gone Burton. Burton are like a team who could just be one game, oh yay, we've won. The next game they could just be like, ugh. Or they could have a week of, a few months of bad results. I just don't think they'll recover from a few bad results. In 20th, I've gone Carsile. I think they'll just stay up on the last day because we've seen them play at the playoffs.
They're brilliant.
They're a brilliant side. When they go like a goal down, they really fight for it, and the fans really get behind them.
Yeah.
In 19th, I've gone Stevange. Again, I don't really know Stevange, but all I know is that they got great fans, and sometimes the atmosphere can be a bit flat, but mostly they're pretty good. In 18th, I've gone Leyton Orient, New London boys to League One. I just see them being another mid-table side. Now in 17th, this might shock a few of you, but I've gone Shrewsbury.
Shocked.
Shrewsbury. Because they've just lost their manager, Steve Cottrell. Please come to Cheltenham. No, I'm joking. We got Wade Elliott's masterclass, but I would like to see him direct a football or something. But I just don't, with their manager gone and their really short statement on how he was on his hospital bed and still worked with the club and not showing him any support, I just put them 17th because one, I don't like them, and two, what they just did the statement about Steve Cottrell. I just don't think they're going to do well. 16th, I've gone for Northampton Town. They made me cry a few years ago. We don't talk about that. But I just think they're going to be another mid-table side. Now, going to the seaside, we got Fleetwood. Now, where the hell is Fleetwood? I don't know.
Lancashire.
Oh, maybe not the seaside then. Proper Scottish. No, that's not even that. Oh my god, what am I doing? Anyways, no. Fleetwood. I just don't see them going anywhere this season. They got a nice little stadium with a roof like that. But I just don't see them doing any good. 14th, I've gone Port Vale, who last season was predicted, to go down. And I was like, well, I don't think they're a bad team really. They got a nice ground. And I think they're a pretty decent team. And I think they will just be like a mid-table side. Now, here we go. With the highest ever league finish. The highest ever league finish and their highest ever, I've gone for Cheltenham at 13th. I think even though we might lose Alfie May, we still have players. I think George Lloyd did really well at Grimsby. Every time I looked on Grimsby's Twitter account, go George Lloyd. So I think with his spell in League 2, he might be a League 2 player, but he might learn experiences from players at Grimsby. And when he comes back, he might be a really great player. As when we saw him in the first, few months of the season, he played not great. In 12th, I've gone for Oxford, who were down at the relegation last season, and they've done really well, and I think Oxford will just be like another mid-table side. In 11th, I've gone for Wycombe. I just don't see them getting playoffs like they normally do, because they had a bit of a last season, but I think they'll just finish 11th, mid-table. In 10th, I'm going to be really proud of this team, and I'm going to go for Exeter City, because last season they did really well, and I think they'll do really well again. In 9th, I'm going to go for Portsmouth, because Portsmouth, they're a good team, but I just don't think they're going to make playoffs. In 8th, I've gone for Derby. Now, it might shock a few of you, but every time they get so close to playoffs, they just bottle it. Like Peterborough against Sheffield Wednesday. 7th, I've got Wigan. I just don't see them getting playoffs and going back up. Plus, they're starting on -8, so I just don't think they're going to do well. In 6th, I've got Charlton. I think Charlton are a very good team, but when they play against lower league sides, they can really shake a bit. They get really shaky, and then they get a bit nervous and don't really perform. But I think they'll just make playoffs. In 5th, I'm going for Reading, the Royals. I think Reading are going to do well this season, but I don't think they're going to get automatics. I think they're going to have a troubled start at the first. Might have a few troubled ones. In 4th, I've got Peterborough. What happened last season, Peterborough. Don't do it again. They lost to Sheffield Wednesday on penalties. In 3rd, I got Bolton. I think Bolton, every year, really push for it, but just don't make it. And then in 2nd, going up to the Championship, I've got Barnsley. Mickey Duff's Red Army to go up and do really well. I think they will do all right in the Championship, and I think they're a really good team. In 1st, I've gone for the title winners, Blackpool. And I think Blackpool are a really good team. And I think with the players they got, they will win this league. Over to Dad's prediction. Dad, what have you got for your top 3?
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm not going to try and predict the whole table because I just don't have the knowledge, the understanding of it. Harry follows it religiously. I go occasionally, take him along. I keep my eye on it, but I don't really follow it that deeply. So I've got my top 6. I'm just going to say my top 6, and they're not in any order at all. It's just purely that I think they will finish in the top 6 somewhere. So I think you've got Barnsley, Bolton and Blackpool, Derby, Peterborough and Reading. I think they're the strongest teams, in my opinion, in that league, and I think they will probably dominate the top of the league throughout. I've put Wigan in the sort of 7th, 8th, but I'm not sure. An 8-point deficit is a lot to make up in this league, especially it's a competitive league. There's not a lot between it, and it also depends on personnel. If you can retain personnel when you drop down from the division above to this one, then great. If you can't, you could struggle. There's lots of players in there, journeyman players who, just go up and down. They change teams regularly, so I don't really know. I've decided that I've been a Charlton supporter all my life. I've gone to Wadden Road since I was 7 or 8 years old.
In the cowsheds?
In the cowsheds, yeah. I remember going watching Roger Thorndale, great players like that playing, and I've always followed Charlton. I love Cheltenham. But I think, I've got a feeling, unlike Harry, I think they might do a little bit better than we think.
Really?
Yes, I do. I think they've got... Wade he was a brilliant midfielder himself, and if he can instill some of the qualities he had into some of our players, then they could do quite well. And I've got them finished in 9th or 10th. It's quite high. It's a bit controversial, or maybe it's just wishful thinking, but that's what I think. They may finish a bit higher than we all think.
Yeah, Charlton fans, how do you feel about that? Do you think we can finish?
I don't know, I'll get slated now. Look it in.
Go to the comments below and think, is he right? Can we do it? Can we get, a pretty decent table rank?
Listen, Charlton fans, comment by all means, but have faith because, let's start the season in an optimistic mood. you know, and let's just see if we can get there, you know. Hopefully a lot of you will be going to the pre-season friendlies, and we can see, kind of get an indication of how they may start the season, which is good. Like Harry, I think the Shrewsbury are going to struggle. It's a great loss to lose a manager like Steve Cottrell, and I think they will struggle. I'm not going to say they're going to go down, but I think they're going to struggle now. You know, may hover just above relegation. It depends who they get in, of course. I think most of the newly promoted teams will struggle. It's a tough league to survive in. Although, unlike Harry, I think Leyton Orient might do all right. Actually, I think they might do quite well. But yeah, and like he said, having watched Carsile in the playoffs, they went behind and they were absolutely fantastic second half. It was, you know, they bombarded Stockport's penalty area with wave after wave of attack. They were absolutely brilliant. And if they can bring that to League One, you know, I think any team will fear them, and especially travelling away. It's a long journey, you know, on the borders of Scotland. It's a long way to go, and I think they'll be quite a tough team to beat, especially at their home ground. But other than that, yeah, I think most of the new promoted teams will struggle. I think it's going to be a competitive league. I think it's going to be an exciting season. I think we've got some great teams in this league now, and you know, lots of nice away journeys for you away fans who like to travel away. We might do a couple. I'm not promising.
I got disappointed
because you know, work commitments and such. But you know, I think that it's going to be a good season. We're really looking forward to it, and we're going to bring you lots of vlogs on the Roman Robbins channel. So subscribe and like. All right, we're always happy to get more subscribers. You know, we're a fledgling channel, and Harry's really good at editing. He's really good presenter. You know, and if you can support him, it'll mean the world to me and the world to him, I'm sure.
Also, we're hoping to tick off a few bucket list stadiums. We're not going to say them, but we're hoping to. I think
Pride Park.
I think one was in Wales, and Leyton.
Oh, we might go to Wrexham, yeah.
We might go to Wrexham, but we don't know. Super Ben Foster in goal.
All right, calm down. Wish we had him.
Yeah. But anyhow, we would like to also, from me and Dad, like to say thank you for your support this season. We literally only had, I swear, like one hate comment. That was it. Literally, your support has been amazing. Especially when we started from like 0 and like in like 6 months we got to 50. I know like some people say, oh yeah, but should get more than that really. But yeah, sure, we get quite a bit of views on our videos. But, you know, some people still come back and watch. So if you haven't subscribed and you've got an account and you keep going back, please subscribe and turn the notifications on so you can see when we next upload. So we'll see you in pre-season, and hopefully come on the chart. Let's do well in League One. But again, also thank you to our sponsors, Faithful Grips, who have been supporting us this whole season. And I'm glad to announce they'll be with us next season as well. Also, it will still be 10% on Roman Robbins code, Roman Robbins 10. That'll be on the screen there. It's still in use, so please use it and buy some stuff on www.faithfulgrips.com. Dad, any message to the supporters before we go?
No, just that, you know, we are trying to build the channel. It takes a long time. It takes a lot of input. Harry's a little bit slow at the moment getting videos out, but we're going to improve that this season. We're going to try and get them out on time or whatever. But, you know, he does all the editing himself. He does all the presenting himself. He's pretty good. And, you know, with every video, I think he's improving. So, yeah, please support us. Please subscribe. You know, and we're going to do our best to make this a really good season. So
yeah, also I figured out how to make the videos the best quality possible, because sometimes they get uploaded in like 720p and I just hate that, and sometimes I have to delete it, and then sometimes I completely forget about the videos. But you know, I know now how to, you know, do the videos in 120p all the time.
Even 180.
It doesn't matter.
1080.
Okay. They know. Well, or they don't.
You'll be 4K in next.
Oh. My phone's gonna blow up in storage, oh no. But yeah, we're hoping to do more videos, probably more away days. I think one last year we really wanted to go to was Derby, as Dad said, Hyde Park. And then it got cancelled. And that ruined all our plans, and then we were sad. But and Oxford as well. And then that got cancelled. But we are hoping to do more away days, more bucket lists, possibly a few more up, down, around. Because a lot of teams are actually a little bit closer to us this season, which would be
And of course, if you watch the channel, you'll know that we do other things. You know, we've been to Wembley, been to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We've done lots of things, vlogs of other things. So, you know, we'll continue to do that as well to give a bit of variety to the channel.
But from me and Dad and all the Robbins team, thank you and good morning, good evening, good night.